then a neighbor came with a snowblower
Yeah.
and blew me out.
Oh, dear Lord.
I got to thinking.
Oh, did you? Did you get to
I
thinking?
did get to thinking. I had no idea that it was inappropriate for chicks to cream.
Okay, it's inappropriate for you to say that into a microphone.
It is?
Yes, don't say that.
Sorry, women cream. Kids are in bed?
Kids are in bed.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 3. I'm Tim Severson. With me, as always, is the lovely Jenni Severson. Hi, Jenni.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm great.
Nice. Good to hear.
It is. It's good to say.
Yeah.
Off to a good start. What's new for Jenni this week? I'm not going to ask how you are this week because that didn't work.
That wasn't. Repeat the question. What's new? Oh, it snowed.
It did snow.
It did snow, and it was the first snow of the winter in February. So that's pretty cool.
I don't know that it was. Was it the first snow of the? I suppose.
Was it? Maybe it wasn't.
Of the technical winter, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Since the solstice.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a big fan of not snowing until February.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's really saved you a lot of
me.
time. All that shoveling you haven't had to do.
My back is feeling really nice.
I was thinking about it while I was shoveling.
Often I confuse the two.
How fortunate I am that I broke the snowblower last year and didn't replace it this year, and there wasn't any need.
Yeah, that was ideal. I told you, I think you should go. I feel like these snowblowers have to be on pretty good discounts when there's no snow.
Maybe if I just never buy a snowblower again, this is our winters now. Or maybe global warming.
That's a good idea. Just don't ever buy one again.
Let's just roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm in.
We have a long weekend coming up.
President's Day.
Last year, actually, my snowblower broke before we went on this trip last year, and we came back to a foot and a half of snow in our driveway.
So much.
I almost started crying in the road, and then a neighbor.
I think you did cry in the road.
I didn't. I really didn't. I was close, but then a neighbor came with a snowblower and blew me out.
Oh dear Lord. I was trying to call snow plow services in the house because the snowstorm had been like days ago.
Yeah, it was happening when we left. Or we left early to get away from it.
So everyone else had clear driveways for days.
Yeah.
And I was trying to call around to like snowplow services. And then I just looked out the window and this man was just strolling over. Yep. Didn't say a word to you, right? Never said hello. Never
Showed
said
up
goodbye.
And said, "Do you need a hand?" And I said, "That would be amazing." And then I just kept shoveling to look busy. And then he just finished and then walked away.
He didn't even say goodbye.
Didn't say goodbye. Don't know where he lives. I've never seen him before or
back
since.
Down the road with a snowblower.
You saw him doing it though, right? He was real. It wasn't magic.
It was real. I saw him.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start. I wrote my first bit of fiction in a long time. I can't remember the last time I wrote a fictional story.
Me neither.
And put it out for the world to see. Yeah, a friend of ours sent me a text because he had said listening to the podcast was a bit surreal because it felt like we were in the room. And then he went off on a tangent about how we have a digital footprint and that AI could make us exist forever. And
yikes.
And so that was the basis for the idea. And on Monday, it hit me in the middle of the night. I jotted down some notes and wrote it in a couple of days. And I love it.
I love it too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was really fun to read.
Yeah, it's a quick story. I'll link to it if you haven't read it. But I'm gonna stop unless you start reading the textbook.
Yeah.
Don't show up not reading. I wanted to ask you what you thought about my voice acting.
Oh, very nice. I was very impressed. I mean, I was sitting right next to you while I listened to it. So I feel like that's not really fair.
Oh.
But I was very impressed at multiple times. You really expressed a lot of emotion, but not in a cheesy way.
Yeah.
It was very subtle but powerful. I loved it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we talked about maybe or I asked you, should I do female voices?
Oh, yeah.
And we decided that was a hard no.
I shot that down real fast. I was like, absolutely not. Idea. Do not do that.
I tried it, but I didn't record it.
Do not do that. Yeah.
It sounded a lot like Marge Simpson. And so I was like,
nice.
Not really the vibe for Catherine, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, I loved the names.
I hated naming. Know you said, I don't like naming characters at all.
Yeah, that was hard for you. Yeah. I thought you picked some real classy, nice names.
See, the only thing though that I noticed as I was rewatching it with you was that I used the same initials for two of the characters, and I'm like,
DW. Oh yeah,
that was all right. Not intentional.
I don't think anybody would ever notice that.
Not that that anything I write will ever be taught in a class, but I feel like that's one of those things that some high school AP teacher would be like, why was it the same initials?
Yeah.
And not knowing. And it's like, I think about that sometimes, like Hemingway. Half the time he was shit-faced. Yeah. Do we really know that that's what he meant?
So drunk.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That drives me freaking nuts.
Yeah.
And the Beatles, didn't they like famously start just writing nonsense because there was a professor trying to teach symbolism of their songs?
Yeah. I wonder, Taylor's, we talked about Taylor Swift last week, but her stuff gets taught. I think there's like a Harvard class that talks about her lyrics.
Huh.
Maybe she should start writing a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
Just dropping random names of guys that don't exist.
Oh.
Freak everybody out.
That would lead to basically the end of the world.
The end of America.
It would be very bad. I hope she does not do that. Please, Taylor.
God, the power she has, man. That's something. All right. Well, we've talked about a lot of things in the first 2 episodes, but we haven't talked really about our kids or parenting or relationships. So I wanted to talk about both of those things today. The first thing on my mind that we've been dealing with, and apropos of the title, is...
That is a word. What was that word? I don't... It was like very strange sound that came out of your mouth.
It's Latin.
Oh.
I hope. We have been struggling for years.
7 years? 7
with our children coming into our bed in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both too tired and don't care enough.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if struggle is the right word, because I don't know that we actually minded it for many years.
Yeah, we have been apathetic to it.
Yeah, or I don't know what that means.
We don't care either way.
We don't care. And maybe even kind of liked it. I kind of enjoy a bedtime snuggle, but they're big now.
Yeah.
And there's just no more room. Yeah. So I don't think of it as like this ongoing struggle we've had for years, as much as like, okay, we're running out of room in the inn here.
Yeah. Yeah. The number of times Jude has this neat habit of, he doesn't snuggle me. They both snuggle you. So you get crowded.
So crowded.
But then Jude will just roll over in his sleep and grab a fistful of my hair. And then at some point just roll over and tear it out. And I wake up like, what the fuck?
And you hit him.
I don't hit him.
No, not like, I mean, like, no, sorry. You don't hit him. You like, you're asleep and someone pulls your hair. You're like, and you like swat him. And then he starts crying. Because he just got awoken by being hit. But you just got awoken by having your hair pulled. So it was definitely time to end it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was just the crowding. I was
Yeah, we haven't been getting good sleep for 7 years.
There were nights that I would get out of, or mornings or nights or whatever, I would get out of bed and I would walk back to the bed and I would see the sliver of bed that I had just been sleeping on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that even possible that a human body?
Oh, are you so tiny that you?
Oh my God. That is not even what I was saying. Rude.
How does a human fit on that sliver?
Okay. That's not what I meant. I meant that like my bot, like I was like, must have been like hanging halfway off of the bed.
Yeah. And then I'm just sprawled out.
Yeah. They don't go near you until they want to pull your hair. Yeah. Otherwise, they're just squished right up against me.
But so now we are on what? We've gone a full, it's been 9 days since we bribed them with.
Well, a bribe as much as the incentive.
Sure. Same.
Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't think so.
What's the difference between an incentive and a bribe?
Oh, I guess I don't know.
Let us know in the comments. We decided that we did the sticker thing. So we have a calendar on our refrigerator with stickers for every night that they stay in bed, and then they get a treat. And then we said if they made it a full week that they got a big present.
Well, big being like $35.
But bigger than a treat.
Yeah.
And
it was,
wouldn't you know it,
day one.
If not got out of their beds.
It's like shockingly easy. I'm like, well, this was much too easy. To be fair, there have been small windows of time where they've gone a day or two in their own bed. Like, it's not the first time ever in their lives.
It's not every night.
It's definitely the longest stretch of their lives, though.
Yeah.
And they also did a thing for a while where they would sometimes stay in their bed, and then for a little while they were off from the other. So only one kid would end up with us, and that was fine. That didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice.
Yeah. But when it's 4 of us sleeping in a bed like Charlie Bucket's grandparents, it's a little...
Is that his name? Charlie Bucket?
Isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What do you think his last name was? Chocolate Factory?
What are the odds? It's destiny.
So now we're in that situation that we've been in with Jude at least once before, where now we've found this new routine and it's working, but now we're going on a long weekend where he's going to be in a bunk room with a bunch of other kids, and now we wait and see what we return to, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be fine because of the bunk room.
Yeah.
I think in the past when we would go away for the weekend and it's like we're all in one room together is the setback.
Yeah.
I feel like the bunk room is really going to help.
Oh, and in case there are parents watching who like this tip, the important thing is that the big present, the deal was they get it after a week, but then as soon as they relapse, we just take it away.
Just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruthless.
We just hang it from the tree out front. Yeah. Just be like, oh, sorry.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Clementine won't ever get out of her bed. This is all Jude. Clementine.
Yeah, she's done for life.
It's fine. Yeah. She doesn't need us at all.
Yeah. He can't be alone. He really needs to be around another human at all times.
Yeah. Where does he get that? We're not. Neither of us are like that. Clementine's not like that. You think you're like that?
Probably from me. Yeah.
Really?
It's definitely not you.
No.
Not a chance.
No. Clementine.
I like to be around people.
Clementine's very much like me.
Yeah.
Like, needs to be on her terms.
Yeah. It was so weird after having a kid who never could be by himself when she started going into her dolly room by herself and playing dolls.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I thought she was going to like murder somebody.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Why is she playing by herself in there? It's very peculiar.
This fall, when Jude went over to a friend's house to play, and it was just the 3 of us, and we were all it was just quiet. I think the TV was even off. Yeah. It was like, is this what life would be like?
Yeah. What a beautiful life this is. He just comes throwing the door open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he always makes an entrance.
Yeah.
He can't ever
saying
not.
gibberish of some kind.
Oh.
Some sort of like thrusting.
Yes, there's a lot of thrusting and a lot of gyrating.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing we wanted to talk about today are relationships, and specifically the most frequent reason for disagreements within a relationship, with which you, when we talked about it, immediately said money.
Finances. First, final answer.
Which I thought was interesting because we've never fought over finances, have we?
Is that true?
I don't. Have we?
Huh. Maybe not. I don't know why I felt so strongly that finances was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really. I changed my answer.
Oh.
Well, but we don't really fight about anything. Like,
right.
When was the last time we had a fight?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's been quite a while.
A fight. Yeah, we have many disagreements.
Well, that's different.
Right.
I know my mom would say we fight all the time.
Yes.
But it's like more like banter, bicker.
Yeah.
But like a true fight where we're like mad at each other. Like
we used to do
a year or more, maybe?
All the time when we were younger.
Yeah.
We would get after each other.
Yeah. But that's when we were like literally children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say like late high school, early college times. Yeah. But we'd
just kid stuff.
Yeah. But we'd get like nose to nose like an umpire and a baseball manager arguing over a bad call. Over
the dumbest stuff.
Yeah, because I think but what do you think, even the thing that comes to approaching a fight, what do you think is the most frequent thing that we fight about?
You and I?
Yeah. I know my answer.
You do? Oh, shoot. See, this is unfair because you've been like stewing or thinking about this.
Oh,
and
no.
Then I just found out.
This was.
What is the most frequent thing we fight about? I don't know. Maybe this is wrong. But I think the thing we fight about the most is my frozen cold heart. No? Oh, thank goodness.
That's not what I was going to say.
Yes.
I was going to say it's where are we going to go eat? Like we're going to go out to eat.
Trying to think of something serious. Oh, yeah. What's for dinner?
Yeah. I think it's interesting that the first thing that came to your mind was something that we don't fight about because we don't fight about much. Yeah. Our biggest fights, I think, even
That's not a real fight, though.
No, I know.
That's just like a silly little.
I get it.
Oh,
I understand.
I mean, I guess I have gotten mad about it.
I mean, no, it's probably more pre-kids that we, because do you remember how many times we just left our house and drove into town and then just started fighting in the car because
this is what always would happen. I would start providing options because you had no options. So then I would just start listing out all the options. And then this happened every time. You would always say, yeah, I know the names of the restaurants in the town we live in. You don't have to name them all for me.
Well, at some point it felt like I was driving around like with a senile person in the front seat, just like Panda Express.
I never suggested Panda Express. No, they don't have alcohol.
We always ended up at Old Country Buffet, your favorite.
Oh my God, stop.
Do they still exist?
I have no idea.
Or are they all, I feel like they all are gone.
I think
they're all Golden Corrals now.
Yeah, that could be.
OCB. Man, oh man. Oof. But yeah, that was interesting. So then I started researching, okay, let's get an authority on what the most frequent fights are. But it turns out that there really isn't much more than opinion that exists in the world. I read.
And is the opinion finance?
Finance is number one with a bullet.
That's why.
It's finance, sex, jealousy, and attention, I think, were like the most frequent ones. But there's not really like an operational definition of like what we've been talking about. How do you decide when a disagreement becomes an argument and when an argument becomes a fight?
Ooh. Yes.
Right?
I feel that. We need some very concrete definitions.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is that it's not the same for both people. Sometimes, like, I'm not fighting is like a common occurrence that happens with two people, right? One
Yeah.
person thinks they're fighting and the other one doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I
I'm
feel like at one of the level jumps, whether it's the first or the second, has to be when somebody calls somebody a name, right? Like that's the escalator at one of them.
I feel like I did used to call you names a lot.
Oh, we used to
But
call each other some serious names. I mean, names that if other people called themselves, like called their spouse or their significant other that, it would be over. It would be over.
Again, we were just small children.
I mean,
Kid stuff.
yes, kid stuff, you know.
Maybe that shouldn't be coming out in kid mouths.
You dumb fucking fucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bleep it.
Oh, you'll bleep it. Oh, yeah. That was me.
Yeah.
You never called me a fucker.
No,
Oh.
I've definitely called you a though.
Oh, yeah. Bleep it.
I will.
You have to bleep it. You've definitely called me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we made up. We would make up like a half an hour later. Yeah. I got to thinking.
Oh, did you? Did you get to thinking?
I did get to thinking. That, you know, the article I read in Psychology Today or something like that.
Boo. Sounds so boring.
It's quite interesting. That, you know, it had said, you know, it's talking about the idea that there's not really a concrete way to measure these things. While divorce rates go up, marriage rates go down, people are doing more cohabitation than getting married, and fertility is down, which is not what the United States of America, I think, is interested in. So I'm surprised that there's not more money being put into researching these things and coming up with a better way to help couples through it. Because if we all stop making babies, then there's no more country.
But divorce rates going up, that continues to be repeat divorcees. Divorcees? How do you say that?
Yeah,
divorcees. The same people keep getting divorced over and over.
I feel like that's a wild assumption.
No, it's not. That's actually true.
It is?
At least it was once when I read it some time ago. That, yeah, like there was always, I don't know if this is still the stat, but the stat was always like 50% of marriages end in divorce. But it's not 50% of people.
Right.
Because the same people would get divorced multiple times. Okay, so then what was the other one? That fertility is going down?
Yeah.
That's not related to relationships. That's related to people having children later in life. I don't think that's related to relationships.
Well, right, but I think the line that they were drawing is that the conventional norms of marriage, right? I think, especially generationally, right? I would think it's a small sample, but you know, people from the millennial generation are kind of our elder millennial generation side of things.
Don't say elder millennial to me.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding.
That all of our friends started having kids closer to 30.
Yeah.
Where,
absolutely,
you know, I think Gen Xers were probably like mid to early 20s, and then boomers were just like, I don't know, we're 18. Let's get married, and
it's right out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I think the line that's being drawn between all of those things is that relationships are less stable, and the motivation for people to be in a relationship now seems to be more financially driven and less driven on the concept of I want to start a family and you know, buy a house, and because that's the whole thing, right? Everybody's going, am I ever going to be able to afford a house?
Are you saying that relationships are driven by finances, that people want to be married for financial reasons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And as the and so then what happens is that as the standard of living goes up, people's standard for the success of their mate goes up. And I think what's happening is that it's getting unreasonable because everything is so wildly expensive.
What? this is outrageous.
I don't understand what I'm saying. That's out. You keep on reacting like that, and then I circle you back around.
Yeah, that has happened a couple times.
What do you mean? I
feel like you're saying outrageous things.
How?
That people aren't getting married because their standard to which they're measuring their mate is too unreasonable. They can't find a mate.
Financially, everybody's looking for somebody.
Whatever happened to love?
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the conversation that we're having right now.
Well, one of us is having it. I don't know if we're having the same conversation.
We're definitely not.
I'm not.
No, that's my whole point. Is that as I looked through the list of things that people are fighting about are different. They're not things that you fight about when you're really like into somebody. It's more like, I don't know, it all seemed very surface. I didn't see us in any of the lists or any of
what to have for dinner wasn't on the list.
No.
Yeah, that list sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
So I feel about that.
Good. That's good. Glad. Thank you for letting me know.
Good research.
Thanks. Worked really hard. But
did you really?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Moving on. Recently we watched one of our favorite movies called
Grease is the word. It's the word that you heard.
First of all, can I just start by saying, because we watched Grease because like 2 weekends ago and went and took a shower and just told Alexa that I wanted to play music, and not even thinking, I just said, play the Grease soundtrack. And I don't know where it came from. And I started listening to it.
Interesting.
The title song of Grease is an amazing song.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
I think that is a very underrated song in the history of music.
No.
I like that song.
Are you kidding me? The Grease soundtrack was like...
No, that song in particular.
Oh.
I feel like, I think it's just because
there's
the rest
more
of it
popular.
the rest of it is musical.
There's more karaoke songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, musical songs.
But that opening sequence
yeah,
made me very happy when we watched it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like when Olivia Newton-John has like animals in her room.
Yes. Yes.
Rizzo's neck gets all long. She puts on her turtleneck.
Yeah. The first thing, I'm actually just thinking about this right now, is that there isn't a single parent in that entire movie. Where are the parents?
Yeah, it's not about the parents. Well, they're 30, so they don't need parents. They live on their own.
I know. But they're, sleepovers and girls are just smoking cigarettes and drinking imported wine.
It's imported. It wasn't about the parents.
I know.
I remember though, actually, do you remember when the OC was super popular?
I do.
You recall watching
I
that? I
recall.
Time? I don't know
California.
If this is true. Yeah. I don't know if this is true. So somebody might tell me I'm way wrong. But I feel like I remember watching that show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the first, because I watched Grease obviously when I was like so small. 90210. Mm-hmm. It was the first time ever. It was the first time ever that I remember there being parents that had like cool storylines that were like attractive, involved people.
Yeah.
Like the parents in 90210, they sometimes would give advice, but they were old. They were, receding hairline. And
so those parents aren't making those beautiful Beverly Hills. You know what I mean?
Well, they were from Minnesota.
That's true.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that was in what, like 2004?
I love that they were like, we can't raise these kids in Minnesota. Yeah. We have to go to LA. Look at them. Yeah, that's true.
So it took a long time. I mean, Grease is from the 70s. So 78. By the time it took until the 2000s for there to be cool parents in a teen drama. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that not even a overbearing parent. You know what I mean? Like
not even a parent, then not a face to be seen.
Right. Or really a mention, except for
when they're at Frenchie's.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they say like, they can't come in here. My parents will flip.
Yes.
That's it, I think.
Yeah. So then Rizzo just jumps out the window
Shimmies down the drain pipe.
Yes. Yeah. So that was something I just thought of. But what we were talking about when we were watching it was how old every actor is.
I mean, it's ridiculous. The principal is 100 years old.
Yes.
I
looked it up.
Assistant?
She was born in 1906.
Yeah.
So, however old that made her.
78. So that would be
80. No, she wasn't 80. She wasn't. Somebody was born in 1900 something. I think the principal was born like.
Sorry, I was trying to do math. You said it came out in 78. Yeah. So I was minusing 6.
I understand what I get what you were doing.
It's mathematics.
Yes. Rizzo. What I always forget her.
Stockard Channing.
Stockard Channing.
Yeah,
she was 34.
30s. I think. Yeah, I think she was 33 when it came out. But yeah, she was in her 30s.
Yeah,
is the point. Like,
yeah,
she was a 30-year-old person.
Yeah, of like
high schooler.
Of the main cast of like the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies. Marty was the youngest. She was 22. But most of them were bookending 30. And
I thought that blonde guy was the youngest.
No, Eugene was the youngest.
Oh, Eugene.
Eugene was like 20.
Hi, Eugene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's the ages were just, I saw something too that said like I don't know if this is true or not, that they had a crow's feet test. The casting director, as long as you didn't have crow's feet, you could be cast.
But then they let dude from the dude from the other town.
Oh yeah.
What is
Crater Face?
Yeah,
it's literally
his name. It looks like a flock of crows attacked his face. Like
yeah.
And that guy, and is he supposed to be a high schooler, or we're just like we don't know? He's just
I don't think you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Because he never says that he goes to a school. Because Cha-Cha, she goes to another school.
St.
She
Bernadette's.
says it. Yeah. They never say if he's a dropout or a graduate or at a different school. We don't know.
Maybe he's just is he the bandstand groupie? He just travels around hoping to get on TV?
I don't think so.
Because they just really let him into that whole scenario.
Yeah. When I tried to get you to come to my senior prom, it was like a whole deal. Like, I don't think so. I don't think that man can be allowed in here.
What was the beauty school dropout? Now you don't like that scene.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Is it Stockard Channing? I think I can't remember now. Is it Stockard Channing or is it the woman who plays Marty? I think one of them makes a mistake.
I think it's Marty.
And ever since I was a kid, it drove me nuts because they're in the very front and they're like holding their arms up and they're supposed to be looking at the camera and singing. And then they like come out of character and like look.
Yeah.
And then look back. And I was like, oh no, this isn't real.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's when I found out as a kid that movies were fake, it made it like really upset me.
Yeah. Well, rewatching it, I feel like, and I have nothing to base this on except for just vibe. I feel like Frankie Avalon was forced to do that.
Huh. Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's like I said, just vibe. Like he doesn't look like super into it. And I feel like that was a bad day on set.
Oh, that could be.
That's what that whole scene screams to me.
I think there was something that he was like scared of heights or something, and he had to like go up.
He walked up like 10 steps.
I think yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Because he's probably like 5'4", so it's high to him.
Yeah.
And now I'm remembering why Grease came up is because we watched the TikTok, which I'll try to find and link to, but it was Grease Lightning, but without sound. Which that scene.
That's why I thought we watched it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You sang it in the shower.
No. Yeah, they do the whole Grease Lightning, not the whole number, but it's a big portion of it.
Yeah.
But it's like if there was no music and all you could hear
No
was
music.
just like them running around and their squeaking shoes, and which are great videos. There's 100 of them, thousands of them probably by now. But without the music, it is weird.
I mean, with the music, it's weird.
Yeah.
The choreography is ridiculous.
Those are some manly men.
Like, what are those moves you're doing? Like, what? Like, that is not choreography. It's like they found somebody off the street and we're like, hey, can you come choreograph this for us?
Yeah.
The guy's like laying on his back with his feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. This makes no sense. I think watching it this last time, I thought more than ever, like, this is a parody. Like, I don't think I ever thought that a lot as I've watched it over the years. But I was like, that's why it's aged well, I think.
Yeah.
Because some people might argue that it hasn't aged well, but to those people, I say, you're dumb. Because it's hilarious now because it seems more of a parody of itself, but in a fun, kind of positive way.
Well, it always kind of was, right? Like, there's a lot of little Easter, like I pointed out to you this last time, when Danny and Sandy are like running or walking on the track, the guy's doing the high jump in the background.
Yeah.
Or what was the other one? Or just the whole concept that the like the auto mechanic teacher is just totally cool, that they've been out stealing an entire car. She's like, all right, that's awesome. Now time for the illegal street race. Yeah, see you guys there. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
She's going.
So it's, I think there's a lot of things, but I don't know. I mean, one, I grew up with that movie because my sister, she was really into it. So I grew up with it on, but I was really, I think I was pretty little when she was into it, but somehow like it came back around to me when, cause she was at college, but I can remember, I don't know, I was maybe a little bit older than Jude. So I was probably like 10, but I put that cassette tape in almost every time I was in the car.
Yeah, of course you did. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Such a good soundtrack.
It really is.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song from the Grease soundtrack?
Depends on my mood, what I'm doing. If I'm at karaoke, Summer Lovin'. If I'm just singing by myself, Hopelessly Devoted to You.
It's a good song.
I do like that song. I know, I just said it. I like You're the One That I Want. That's always fun if I want to like kind of like, dance a little. Just depends.
This is like picking. Are you just going to name every song on the soundtrack and talk about how much you like each one?
Yeah, I guess.
Pick one.
Summer Lovin'.
Gross. Such a basic pitch. I mean,
what is happening? You just bullied me into picking a song and then were mean to me about it?
Yes.
So rude.
Fell right into my trap.
It's because I love to sing it with you.
Oh, nobody's believing that.
It is.
Oh. I think I was going to say something that is not the right answer. I was going to say Stranded at the Drive-In because I do like that song.
You just like the hot dog jumping into the bun at the end.
I did notice that this time, and it was the first time I'm like, oh, I get it. I don't think I think I miss that every time I've seen the movie. No,
Grease Lightning.
Grease Lightning. No. Like I said, we sang that. Oh, that Grease Lightning is dirty too.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that.
I didn't know that until I sang it in choir in 6th grade, and they had changed the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea that it was inappropriate for chicks to cream.
Okay, it's inappropriate for you to say that into a microphone.
It is?
Yes, don't say that.
Sorry, women cream. Ladies? Gentle women. Okay.
So, Grease Lightning is not your favorite song. Stranded at the Drive-In is not your favorite song.
No.
Those are lies.
I think my favorite song is Hopelessly Devoted, honestly. Yeah. I think that's the best song. I think that's by far the...
It was the only one nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See? There. Settled that. Okay. Now, we'll wrap it up with
cellophane. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just like in Grease Lightning.
Yeah,
When Danny just runs around in the cellophane. Why does he do that? And he doesn't even make it the whole way around the car. They're just like, yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, so dumb.
Well, anything else you want to talk about before we adjourn?
Gosh, I didn't know I would just have like open mic. Yeah, I would like to talk about a lot of things.
Oh, pick one.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
It was a joke.
Oh.
I just show up and follow your lead and call it a day.
Kind of follow. This time you didn't really follow.
This was really hard for me.
It was. That's all right. That's okay. You're
Should
beautiful.
We go check on the kids?
I would love to check on the kids. I love you. That's the reaction you're looking for. Anywho.
I love you too.
That was way too late. It doesn't count anymore.
It doesn't?
I'll chop out the space so
okay.
It seems
sounds good.
It seems organic.
See ya.
We're not done yet. All right, see ya.